Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Good morning, Flo. Leo Bray with Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center coming to you from the northeast corner of Ruth Hardy Park in Palm Springs. Make sure to visit us online at urbanyoga.org or at Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center on Facebook. Check out the rest of our class schedule. We have classes every day of the week with different teachers. We're here in the park Thursday through Sunday if you want to join us in person. And we also have Tip Jar online, so you can make contributions to support our Zoom classes via PayPal or Venmo or Zelle. So let's get started this morning on core and balance flow, what we'll be working on today. Folks on Zoom, if at any point you have trouble hearing me, let me know. Had some issues yesterday with the audio, and we weren't even outdoors. So we'll start out seated, and it's okay if you don't sit exactly how I'm sitting. Sit so that you're comfortable, but feel into grounding contact where you're touching the ground, and think about the length of your spine. So sitting tall without being stiff or rigid. If you want to, you can close your eyes. Observe your breathing. Just by bringing your attention there, your breath will start getting deeper and start getting slower. Adjusting as needed for comfort, settling in, eventually finding relative stillness. There's always some movement. Observe the movements that accompany your breathing and notice how those movements feel in your body as your breath deepens and slows down. How do these movements and sensations change? Rising of the inhale, expansion. Grounding of the exhale, contraction. Rising up, rooting down. Extending your awareness beyond the movements of your breath. Take in whatever sensations are present in your body right now. Scanning your body. Noting the degree of engagement needed to sit up. So you're using some core muscles just to sit up straight. Might not seem like a lot of work, but there is some effort. There is some muscular engagement there. Where do you feel that now that you're paying attention? Specifically to that. And what else do you feel in your body? It's especially important to take note of anything that doesn't feel so good. If there's any soreness or stiffness going on in your body, make note of these things so that you may keep them in mind during practice, remembering that you're welcome to skip or modify anything I'll be offering. Consider all the cues suggestions. That way you can find the practice that works best for you. You may wish, in addition to these shared intentions of observing our bodies and taking care of ourselves, tailoring our practice, you might wish to set a personal intention, something more specific to yourself and your practice. If so, let that finish forming up and sink in for a few breaths. And let's take 3 deep cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth with a sigh. Allow your eyes to open if they're closed, starting from the top, so to speak. Let your chin come down towards your chest. We'll take care of the neck first. Nice and slowly roll your ear towards your shoulder and let your head tip back. Roll your other ear towards your other shoulder. Going just as slowly as you can. If you find any spots that are particularly tight in your neck, maybe you pause at the tight spots and do a little rocking back and forth to ease out some of that particular tension. When you finish the next circle, change direction.
Chris, can you come to the front office, please? Chris, to the front office.
Whatever comes up during practice can be integrated as part of the practice. It's a mental exercise. We don't have to let ourselves get annoyed by the fact that there's a school next door and a PA system, any more than we would get annoyed by the insects here, the bugs, the birds, the passersby, the traffic. When you finish the next circle, lift your gaze and look forward. Inhale, draw your heart forward, let your head tip back. Exhale, draw your heart back, let your head tip forward and down. And continue at the pace of your breathing. So we actively focus on what's going on internally. And we don't pretend there's nothing going on externally. We just note it and redirect, turning inward again. At the moment, there's a hummingbird. It's gone now. For a beautiful 2 seconds, there was a hummingbird just to the left of my laptop. I had hoped he might come on camera between me and the laptop, but he did not. Or she. It. We don't know. We should just call the hummingbird say. And let's start to bring a circular movement in. So as you inhale, coming forward, go over to one side. As you exhale, coming back, go to the other. Letting the heart lead the movement and see if you can keep both cheeks on the ground. Don't want to rock around so much that we tip over. It's okay to do. Probably be a slow impact. But exercising that degree of control, let's change direction. Exercising that degree of control to stay anchored in both sitting bones brings a little more core engagement to the circle. And when you finish the next circle, sit up again. And we'll take in some side bends. Reach your hands to the sides. Rest your fingertips on the ground so you stay tall. Inhale, raise your left arm alongside your ear. As you exhale, reach across to the right. Feeling for length from left hip up through left fingertips. With an inhale, bring yourself upright. As you exhale, come into seated twist. Bring your left hand to the ground behind you, your right hand to your left leg. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhale, invite your body to twist some more. Asking with each exhale if there's a bit further to go. Let your twist unwind. Come back through center. Inhaling, raise your right arm up alongside your ear. Exhale, reach across to the left, leaning into your left hand. Inhale, come upright. Exhale, come into the twist. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, twist some more. See how much is enough for this side. Allow your twist to unwind, come back through center. And let's come up onto our hands and knees. Open your hands up all the way. Feel the whole palms on the ground. Shoulders stacked above your wrists and hips stacked above your knees. Take a few cow and cat breaths here. Inhale, bring your heart forward. Let your head and tailbone go up. Exhale, bring your heart up. Let your head and tailbone come down. The movement feels different than it does when you're sitting up. Probably a fuller range of movement, especially on cat when you draw your heart up. Or maybe you find a bigger difference with cow. Exhale, come back to table. Start to get more active in the core. Some gentle balancing things here. Reach back, press into the ball of your right foot. Take a couple of breaths. With your next inhale, pick that foot up, reach straight back to the ball of your foot. Now your core is doing some more work as you're balancing on two hands and one leg instead of both hands and both knees. With your next inhale, reach your left arm to the side. Gives the core a bit more to do. Staying with your breath. It's okay if you wobble. Bend your leg, reach back. If you can, take hold of your foot or your ankle. Raise your knee, raise your chin. Release, lower down. Reach back, press into the ball of your left foot for a couple of breaths. With an inhale, pick your foot up and reach straight back. With the next inhale, reach your right arm out to the side. Bend your leg, reach back, take the bind if you can. It's okay if you can't. Sometimes we can't quite connect with that grip. Release and lower down. We'll start to stand, step your left foot up. Whatever. You're going to step both feet up. No need to correct that. Step one foot forward and then the other. Started to rewind and correct myself and realized it didn't matter because we're going to end up standing in forward fold regardless of which foot you start with. You can sway back and forth, bending and straightening your legs, hands hanging down or dragging on the ground or holding your elbows or clasped behind your head for neck traction. If you're holding your elbows or clasping your hands behind your head, let your hands hang down again. Nice and slowly, nod your head yes. And shake your head no. Inhale to lift up halfway, press your hands to the front of your legs, pushing to help the crown of your head draw forward away from your tailbone. Spine lengthening out parallel to the ground. Exhale, relax down. Inhale, roll up to standing, hands up overhead, and touch. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Let your hands down at your sides. Lift your left shoulder up towards your ear. Shift it back and let it down. Then your right shoulder up and back and down. Inhale, reach out to the side. Exhaling, reach for your shoulder blades and hug yourself. Or if you like, come to eagle arms. Intertwine your arms. Press your palms together. If you take eagle, then lift your elbows and your hands forward and further away from your chest and your face. Inhale, open up again. As you exhale, cross the opposite way. Grab your shoulder blades or take eagle. Breathe into the big space between your shoulder blades. Inhale, open up. Exhale, let your arms come down. Inhale, your arms out and up overhead. Interlace your fingers. Put your palms up and look up at your hands. Lift up your heart. Bring yourself upright. Inhale at center. Exhale to bend to the right. Feel for length through both arms. Try not to let the left heel lift up or let the left arm go forward past the left ear. Inhale, come up through center. Exhale, bend to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, let your arms down. Stride into some sun salutations. The shade moved. Now I get the sun hitting me a little more directly. It's all good. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, come down. Plant your hands and step back to a plank. You can always let your knees down and do shorter plank if that serves you better. Let your hips settle down in line with your shoulders and heels, or your shoulders and knees if your knees are down. Plank is great for your core. Exhaling slowly, lower all the way down. See how slow you can go. The slowness is great, not just for core, particularly here for arms as well. Come down all the way, untuck your toes, rest your chin on the ground. Press into your hands, inhale, lift your head and chest. Maybe just a low cobra each time we come through. Pick the height of heart opener that works for you. Listen to your lower back. So maybe it's a higher cobra, maybe it's an upward dog when you're ready. Exhaling, rock back, maybe pass through table. Take your time to get to downward dog. Press into your feet, press into your hands, lift your tail, and walk your dog. Settle your feet up and down. I love that just as we started to do the dog's on three sides being walked. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, step or hop forward. Exhale to come down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale down. Plant your hands back to plank. When you're lower halfway the time, elbows in close. Inhale, bring your heart forward, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, rock back and up to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, come down. Inhale all the way. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, come down. Plant your hands, step back to plank. we'll start to add in some variation here. We're going to play with side plank. Bring your right hand in under your face, lean your weight with the hand, and it's rolling. You're going to roll onto the outer edge of your right foot. You can bring your left hand to your heart. Now your feet might be stacked, left on top of right, or the left foot could be in front of the right like that. You can also let the right knee down. Have a broader base of support there. That's sometimes a good option. And if you want, I should reorient myself a little bit here for the camera. You can reach your arm like this. Play, lifting your left leg away from your right, like opening a pair of scissors. Doing tree pose leg with your foot resting against the right leg. If you want, with the legs closed, you might play with this movement. Exhale, sweep that hand down, reach under the other arm. Inhale, come back up. I'll do two more, and maybe I'll fall and crash. That happens sometimes. Falling is part. Get into more challenging movements and postures. Exhale, back down to your plank. Let your knees down. Take a few breaths. When you're ready, come back to your plank. Slide the left hand in so it's under your face. And take your time, lean into that hand, rock onto the outer edge of your right foot. Find the right position for you on your feet and legs. Maybe raise your right arm. Maybe play with raising your right leg. We're doing two legs. And with the legs together again, top one raised anyway. You could exhale, sweep the arm down and under. Inhale, up. So you could do this with the left knee on the ground. You could do this with the right foot in front of the left. It's really hard when you talk. Slowly sit back to your plank. Put your knees down. Take a couple breaths. Throw your toes under. Press into your feet to lift your knees. Press into your hands. Back to downward facing dog. Inhale, knees look forward. Exhale, step forward. Exhale. Inhale all the way up. Exhale. All right. Go there. Inhale up. 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 Your hand. Step back. Right. Inhale halfway. Inhale, bring your heart forward. Up. Hands, feet. Mix it up. Come up halfway. Exhale, come down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands. So we're going to play with eagle, not just with the arms, but we'll see about eagle legs today. And I say see about because it's an exploration, and one never know how far I'm going to get with the leg expression. That's like you're going to press your arm. I'm going to go left arm to right. It's going to be left leg over right. So the way I like to come into this is use momentum weight of the leg. Swing it out to the left and let it come across the front. And that's as full as I'm getting today. So I have like knees crossed. My foot is reaching back. Full expression is to tuck the foot behind that calf. Hands away from you. You might, like, imagine you're going to sit down cross-legged. So I'm releasing in the front of my hips and the back of my right knee. My arms are still reaching away from me. My hands are still reaching away from me. My elbows are approaching that knee. Forming. Standing. Cross the legs. Shake things. Control we can coming out. Pardon me. Thing going on here. There we go. Sorry, I had to cut your background noise out. If you need to say anything to me, you can unmute. The sound from the other end of Zoom plus the sound here was getting too much. And now reach your arms out. Exhale, cross the other way. So now right arm under left. Come to your eagle arms. And if your hands don't come together, it's okay. That might take a while to get there. Just like with the legs, we do as much as we can, as much intertwining as we can with the arms. And then I lean into my left foot, sweep the leg back, out and around, and cross. Now a little closer on this side. I'm not sure if you can see the foot that's not quite snaking behind the calf. Elbows and hands forward and up, releasing in the hip and the knee, coming into this cross-legged seat, sitting on nothing. Deep breath. Sometimes we hold our breath when we start to focus on something more challenging. It doesn't help. Breathing helps. Inhaling, straighten the leg. Uncross, whatever degree of slowness and control you can manage. Uncross arms, lower arms, shake it out. Maybe that's even a little dance. Maybe you need a drink after that. If there's someone who doesn't need a drink after doing that, I don't know. Not out in this temperature right now. Okay. I'm going to play a bit with chair pose and some variations. The key to chair pose, as I learned it, the most helpful thing I ever learned. Lots of different methods to come into a pose, different ways to look at it. The releasing in the hip sockets is key. Your hip sockets are just on either side of the pubic bone. If you put your thumbs here and press, you'll feel the joint release. It's like taking the parking brake off your car. There's a similar release in the back of the knees and the front of the ankles. Think of just releasing down into the ground. Spine is long, so not looking up like that, but not ducking down. Just long spine. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And just keep thinking of releasing. Inhale, slowly straighten your legs. Exhale, let your arms come down. We'll play with some other variations of this. There's lots of different things we can do with that as our starting point. So that was one way to come into it, focusing on the lower part of the body and then bringing the arms up. You could do it all at once by swinging the arms, let the weight of the arms pick up momentum. As you come forward and up, then release into your seat on an exhale. And now we'll just play with some arm variation here. Bring your hands under your arms. Reach your hands back past your hips, palms down, take a breath. Reach your hands in under your arms. Reach them out to the sides, palms down. Take a breath. Bring your hands in under your arms. Reach them up overhead. Palms face each other. Take a breath. Inhale, slowly stand. Exhale, arms down. Now we'll come into chair and play with a twist and maybe some arm extension in the twist. See how we do. Inhale, reach up, sit back. Sorry, exhale. I said that wrong. It's supposed to be an exhale. Silly Leo. It happens. Bring your hands together. Press your thumbs to your sternum. Keeping your hands centered on your chest. Keeping your spine nice and long. Keeping your knees lined up with each other as they are. I'm just looking at my knees. Yes, they are lined up. On an exhale, twist to the right any amount without losing that alignment. Maybe your elbow comes outside your knee. It's okay if it doesn't, but we don't want to sacrifice the alignment to get there. My knees are still together. My hands are still at my chest. There was a bug trying to crawl in the corner of my mouth. If you want from here, you can open your arms like that. You don't have to. But it's fun. I think it's fun. If your hands are apart, you can bring them together again. Inhale slowly with control. Come back through center. Exhale, twist to the left. Remember, alignment is more important than the degree of the twist. If you get into the deeper twist and get the arm hooked, you might play with opening your arms. See if you like how that feels. If your arms are open, bring your hands back together. Inhale back to center. Big exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly stand up, hands overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Relax your hands down for a moment. Now we're going to incorporate some other variations. Reach your arms out in front of you. Zombie chair, or if you're not one for zombies, you could say sleepwalker chair. Exhale, sit back. So just keep the arms here and sit back to chair. Notice if it feels different. Notice where it feels different. Probably a good chance it does. I find it easier to keep my head in position in this variation. Not sure why that is. Often after I sit back in the chair, I'm doing a little correction with the neck. But here my neck found its way to where I'd like it to be without a corrective move. Inhale slowly, straighten your legs. Exhale, let your arms come down. The core is doing all kinds of work. It's great. And the legs are the powerhouse of your metabolism. So all the stuff you're doing with your legs too is some good metabolic activity. So now we're going to try that. I like my silly jokes, and they're the same ones, but we're going to try that with heels on. So reach your arms out in front of you. Lift your heels. I'm not really going to put heels on. I didn't bring my heels. Lift your heels, and on the balls of your feet, if you can, sit back to your chair and stay with your breath. And aren't you glad you don't have to talk while you do this? Now, if you can, without taking your heels off or lowering your arms, inhale, straighten the legs, lower the arms, then lower the heels. Shake it out. That's a lot of chair stuff. I'm not sure I know any more chair stuff, actually. No, I do, but I'm going to skip it. I'll spare you. You can do eagle arms and take chair, but we don't want to overdo it on that one posture of chair. We'll play with some one-legged balancing. So we did one leg with eagle. We did two legs with chair. Now we'll do some one leg again. Hands at your heart. Set your eyes on something straight ahead that won't move. Use your gaze to anchor yourself. Shift your weight from one leg to the other. Feet on the ground. When you're ready, drop the weight into your left leg. Let the knee stay soft and bouncy. Think of like a shock absorber. Pick up your right knee. Open it out to the side. Bring your right foot to your left leg. So that might be ball of the foot or toes on the ground, heel on the ankle, maybe the sole of your foot to your right calf, maybe the sole of your foot to your left knee. I said right when I meant left. Mirroring my right, your left. The one thing you don't want to do is press sideways on the knee. It's better to stay on your calf than to be aiming for your knee, but aiming for your thigh, but pushing your knee on the wrong axis. Your hands can keep pressing together here. That can be nicely steadying, drawing energy to the midline. Stay with your breath. Or the branches of your tree can go anywhere they want. Maybe your tree is more still, like these trees here in the park at the moment, or maybe there's breeze in your branches. You can have breeze in your branches even if there isn't breeze in the other trees. Oh, I like that. You can't see him. He's off camera. He's going like this. And he doesn't even have the sun on him. Okay, that makes it hard. I'll just come my foot down here. Bring your hands back to your heart if they're doing something else. Bring your knee forward. Let your foot down. Shake things out. Yes. Oh, he was waving at Nats, I guess. I'm always a bit silly, but sometimes people help me, and we elevate the silliness. Hands at your heart. Shift side to side again. As many times as you like. When you're ready, bring the weight into your right leg. Lift your left knee. Open out to the side. Bring your foot to the opposite leg. Eyes straight ahead. Find your arm expression. Maybe it's the same thing. Maybe it's something different. Some of us like to play with binds. This is my favorite. Feels great in my back to fold my arms behind me. I like the look to get from passersby when they don't notice the laptop, or they wonder, why am I talking to a tree? It looks like I'm talking to a tree that is off camera here. Just talking to a tree. I'm a tree. What? Never saw a tree talking to a tree? If your hands are elsewhere, bring them back to your heart. Pivot your knee forward. Let your foot down. Shake things out. Sometimes shaking leads to a little dancing. I'm grabbing a drink. We're going to sit down. That's where we are time-wise in our class. We only have an hour. It seems to fly by every time. In teacher training, we dubbed it the yoga time warp. It'd be in a wonderful 90-minute class, and it ends. You say, what? That felt like a half hour. Extend your legs in front of you. Flex your feet back towards you. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold down over your legs. Now he was singing Rocky Horror music as I said time warp. Inhale, let the crown of your head come forward. Exhale, think of lowering some more. So maybe there's not a lot of movement here. Maybe those are just spots. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower. Maybe you just imagine. Maybe you feel some movement, some more extension, some more release for your lower back. Speaking of release, if your knees want to bend like mine are doing here, just let them bend. No need to strain anything by pressing your legs flat to the floor. We're aiming for lower back release here. I'm never aiming for hyperextension. Inhaling, walk your hands up the front of your legs and sit up. Let your arms help your legs open out. And let your arms keep helping your legs. Bending the right leg, bring your right foot over by your left leg. So maybe in tree you wanted to put your foot on your thigh and you couldn't. Now maybe you can. Pivot your chest, aim your sternum at the left foot. Flex those toes back towards you. Inhale, reach up overhead. Exhale, fold down over that extended leg. And again, inhale, think of lengthening forward. Exhale, think of lowering down. Slowly open your left arm out to the side and turn your head to follow your hand. Rotate your arm, turn your thumb down. Bend your elbow, bring the back of your hand to your lower back. So maybe it's your sacrum, maybe it's your right hip, maybe it's somewhere between, and peel your left shoulder back. Slowly extend the arm, rotate so the thumb is up, and sweep the hand back over next to your right hand. Slowly move your right arm out to the side, rotate so the thumb's down, bend your elbow, bring the back of your hand to your low back, or maybe opposite hip, maybe somewhere in between, peel the right shoulder back. Extend the arm, rotate, thumb up, reach your arm up alongside your ear, over your head, towards the other arm. This is great for undoing compression in the center of your lower back, an area that gets compressed when we sit a lot, sitting for extended periods of time. Reach your arm up, out, bring it back through center, hands meet up, and walk your hands up your legs. Using your arms, extend this one, then the other one, bring your foot across. Pivot your torso, flex your foot back towards you. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Spend a few breaths here, seeing if maybe your fold will deepen. Slowly open out to the right, bring the arm out, track the arm with your hands. Look at your hand if you can. Track the arm with your hand. Track the arm with your eyes. Rotate your arm. Bring the back of your hand to your lower back or to your hip. I don't know if you can see on camera my fingertips over here. My hand made it to the opposite hip. Extend your arm, rotate, slide it back over, hands meet up. Bring your left hand in through your heart, reach it out to the side. Rotate your arm, fold it across your low back, peel your left shoulder back. Extend your arm, rotate your arm, reach it up alongside your ear, over your head, in the direction of the other arm. Reach up, out to the side, come back through center, walk your hands up your legs. Using your arms, extend your legs, nudge your legs back together. Bring the soles of your feet together a good distance away from your body so there's a big space between your heels and your pelvis. Slide your hands under your ankles, grab the floor or the ground. If there's not room to do that, you could reach over your ankles instead. Walk your hands forward. Yoga pretzel time. Let your neck disengage and your head drop towards the ground. Slowly start to scoot your hands back, press up to a seat. Bring your heels in closer, keeping the soles of your feet together as close as you can. Interlace your fingers, grab your toes, wriggle on your seat, bringing the bones in the seat closer to the ground, tilting the pelvis forward. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhaling, hinge at the hips, fold forward with your spine long. Let the long spine go as far as it'll go. When it stops lowering, let your head lower. Breathe into your hips. Inhale, slowly sit up. Let your arms help your legs. Lift your knees towards each other. Rest your feet on the ground. With your feet planted, reach your arms straight ahead. Sit back as far as you can without lifting your feet off the ground or tipping over onto your back. Wherever that is, it'll be a different angle for each person's spine, nice and long. Remembering the neck is just part of the spine. Lift your feet a little bit. Take a couple breaths. If you need to grab your legs with your hands, that's fine. You can support your legs. Take it the highest you can lift your feet. Go halfway there and take a couple breaths. Lift your feet as high as you can and take a couple breaths. I think my halfway was way more than halfway. Lower about halfway. Take a couple breaths. Lower most of the way, not all the way if you can help it. Take a couple breaths. Let your feet down. Let your hands down. Plant your hands out at your sides. Wiggle your feet further apart. Let your knees go back and forth. And we're going to come down onto our backs. You can set your feet this far apart, 2 fists between the tops of the feet. That's about the width that there is between your hip sockets. Bring your hands behind you. Scoot towards your heels. Come down onto your forearms. Come down onto your back. So you end up on your back, feet planted, heels as close to your butt as you can get them. Bridge pose. Press into the soles of your feet. Inhale, lift your hips up. If you want to go further here, you might wriggle your shoulder blades towards each other. Clasp your hands under you and reach your knuckles towards your heels. If you're clasping your hands, unclasp them. Exhaling slowly, let your hips come down. And explore bridge on your own. Inhaling to come up. Exhaling to come down. Challenging yourself as much or as little as you like. You could go more slowly or come up higher, or take extra breaths at the top. You could repeat clasping your hands after wriggling your shoulder blades together. Maybe you take extra breaths at the bottom. If it's in your practice and you like, you might play with wheel pose here. So on your back with the feet planted, you bring your hands up past your ears, fingertips pointed towards your shoulders, and then you press into your hands and your feet and lift your hips and come up into wheel. If you like, there was a time I couldn't do this and now I can. Some days I don't feel like it and today I did. You want to watch your neck, tuck your chin forward before you come out of your wheel. Don't want to put pressure on your head with your neck cranked back like that. Take a few more breaths exploring bridge or wheel as you like. After your last exhale down, pause for a couple more, regrounding. Then draw your knees towards your chest, hug your knees, rock and roll on your back, massage your back against the ground. Plant your left foot again. Cross your right knee over your left knee. If there isn't room for you to do that, you could cross your right ankle over your left knee instead. Reach your arms out to the sides. Feel your shoulder blades pressing to the ground. Let your legs fall to the left and turn your head to the right. Turn your head and your knees back to center. Cross your legs the other way. Let your legs go right and your head go left, and your shoulders stay grounded. Come on back to center. Uncross your legs. Draw your knees in. Reach your feet up. Reach your hands up. Take hold of your legs or feet, however you like. Play with bending and straightening your arms and legs in happy baby pose. If there's some other inversion you like to do, feel free to do it. Since we're doing core and balancing things today, I'm going to play with some other things. So you might play with a shoulder stand, and you can start to play with that by lifting in the bridge, putting your hands at your waistline and planting your elbows, reaching your legs up while your arms support your back. That was a little sloppy. Better to do that more slowly. So that's not a very full expression of a shoulder stand, but it's decent. Core is definitely engaged. You might play with plow pose, reaching your legs back past your head. Maybe you have headstands or handstands in your practice. Maybe trickier things I can't show you, like scorpion pose. Beautiful inversions that maybe someday I'll get to. Lots of different fun ways to get your legs higher than your heart. If you haven't done a headstand before, it's best to have someone with you to spot you. I'll make a video soon. It's been requested to do a headstand tutorial. I like starting with this one and then going up. If you haven't done it before, don't try to just pop into it like that. That'd give better cueing. But when you can get there, this is not only great core work, but it's a lot of fun. The playfulness is its own benefit. Challenging yourself, seeing what other expressions feel good, what other expressions are accessible to you. And the good news is you don't have to talk while you're doing it. It makes it much easier. And it takes a while to develop these things. It took about a year before I could come out of a headstand this slowly. You can invert as long as you like, as many different ways as you like. When you're ready, when you feel complete, make your way to your final resting pose. So that might be corpse pose, legs extended, feet splayed apart, hands resting out at your sides. If that's not comfortable, find a position that is. Because it's not required that you conclude practice in corpse pose. It's more important to be comfortable than to be in this shape. If your lower back does not like lying flat on the ground, planting your feet, letting your knees lean towards each other can feel nice, takes pressure out of your low back. It may feel nice to bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees splay out. You might put props under the outside of your legs, yoga blocks, bolsters, rolled blanket, to take the weight of your legs and make the posture more passive. Hands could just rest on the ground or they can rest on your body. Find your comfortable stillness, whatever that looks like. Let yourself make adjustments. Eventually finding some stillness. Allow your breath to get slower and deeper, just as we did when we began today. Maybe just focusing on your breathing as a nice simple meditation. Maybe coming back to an intention you set for yourself at the start of our practice, reflecting upon it, how it served you in practice, how you might carry that intention off the mat and into the rest of your day. Maybe you just let your mind drift. Give it permission to drift. With each exhale, a little remaining tension melting away, getting slightly closer to the ground with each breath. Maybe scan your body as you did at the start of practice, checking in with each part of you, seeing how it all feels. If you detected trouble spots at the start of practice, how do those areas feel now? Are other areas speaking up and making themselves known? Gathering whatever information there is just to reflect on it. Start to find some even deeper breaths. Nice and slowly let your body move around, bit by bit, beginning with small movements, letting the movements lead to bigger movements, become bigger movements. When you're ready, you might draw your knees towards your chest, extend your arms behind you, put the weight of your legs onto one side. Gently make your way up to a seat again, back where we started. If you wish, bring your hands up by your heart. Thank you for gathering and sharing in practice this morning. The light within me sees and honors and bows to that same light within each of you. Namaste. And again, I'm Leo Bray for Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center, coming to you here from the northeast corner of Ruth Hardy Park in Palm Springs. We're here Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 8:15, Sunday at 9:45. Visit us at Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center on Facebook or urbanyoga.org on the web to check out the rest of the class schedule and contribute to the tip jar to help support these Zoom classes. And please feel free to leave feedback and comments on YouTube. Feedback helps me become a better teacher. And I love getting it from the people here in the park or the people live on Zoom, but I like to get it later as well, because I know people do watch the videos. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Leo.